Good evening, my dear students from Ashtar Private Secondary School, 5th grade. This is your English teacher, Rima Ta'i. I hope that you are all well. My dear students, let us begin with Unit 1, Lesson 1. Why are you writing to your mother? I'm going to read the conversation that went on between Farid and Alex. Please listen to me. Farid, why are you writing to your mother? You live in the same house and you see her every day. I know, but it's Mother's Day tomorrow. Tell me more about it. Well, it's a day in the spring when you say thank you to your mother for everything. Most people give their mother a card and a present. Really? What have you got for her? Flowers and chocolates. Is there a poem in your Mother's Day card? Yes, listen to this. On this special day, I'm writing to say you are the best mother in every way. That's nice. Don't you send Mother's Day cards in Iraq? Are you joking? We send birthday cards and Eid cards, but we never send Mother's Day cards. Where are you going, Farid? To buy a Mother's Day card for my mom. She is also the best. الحوار دار بين فريد who's from Iraq من العراق and Alex who's from Britain. فريد في البداية كان متعجب لأن أليكس اعتاد أن يرسل بطاقة لتهنئة والدته بيوم الأم. فريد لم يعتد على فعل ذلك، ولكنه اعتاد أن يرسل البطاقة ويشتري الهدايا في عيد ميلاد والدته أو في الأعياد. ولكن في نهاية الحوار اقتنع فريد بأن يشتري بطاقة إلى أمه ويرسلها لها لأنها أيضا الأفضل. In this conversation, as you see, the writer used two tenses. The first one is the present continuous. Is, are, plus verb adding to it ing. That I'm going to explain it, inshallah, in our second lecture. Today, I'm going to explain the present simple tense for you. Now, let us complete the rule about the present simple and the present continuous. Let us see the difference between them. We use the present for something happening right now. What can you see in this sentence? This adverb of time, right now, which is an adverb that we can use with the present continuous. الآن. So right here in the first blank, continuous. We use the present for permanent situations and things that happen regularly. نستخدم زمن المضارع البسيط, write simple here, للمواقف الثابتة والأشياء التي تحدث بانتظام. Now, after reading the conversation, let us mark the sentences about Alex and Farid if they are true or false. The first sentence, Alex is writing a card to his mother. The second one, it is her birthday today. The third sentence, Alex hasn't got a present for his mother. Farid is Iraqi. This is the fourth one. The fifth sentence, Farid never sends cards. And the last sentence, Farid wants to buy a card for his mother. My dear students, this is your homework. Now let me explain the present simple tense for you. المضارع البسيط. Use the present simple to talk about routines, habits, permanent situations, scientific and general facts. نستعمل المضارع البسيط للتعبير أو للتحدث حول الروتين، العادات، المواقف الثابتة، الحقائق العلمية والعامة. Now, as you know, there are 3 types of sentences. Let me begin with the affirmative sentences. Our affirmative sentences should begin by putting the subject first, الفاعل, followed by the present simple, المضارع البسيط, and then the complement. For example, the pronouns he, she, it take the verb plus s for the third person singular. He, she, it, with verb adding to it s for the third person singular. اس الشخص الثالث المفرد. While I, you, we, they take the base verb. I wake up every day at 8 o'clock. Let us take some examples. The first one. I wake up at 5 o'clock every morning, wash my face, and say my prayers. What does this sentence express? Of course, it expresses routine. Wake up. This is the present simple. Every morning. This is an adverb that we can use with the present simple. Wash and say are 2 verbs. They are in the simple present. Number 2. His father works in a big company. Works. Present simple tense. This sentence expresses permanent situations. تعبر عن مواقف ثابتة. يعمل في شركة كبيرة. Number 3. Water freezes at 0 centigrade. What does this sentence express? Of course, it expresses fact. ينجمد الماء في درجة 0 درجة مئوية. I like honest people. This is my habit. I only like honest people, for example, and I don't like liars. Now we come to the negative sentences, the second type. Our sentences should begin by putting the subject first, followed by either doesn't or don't, of course depending on the subject, اعتمادنا على الفاعل, and then the base verb and the complement. When you use doesn't or don't, you should put the base verb after it. For example, they don't go to school every day. Don't go. Don't go. Go is the base verb. Number 2. She doesn't like fish. Doesn't like. Because we used here the pronoun she. And she takes does or doesn't. Now, we come to the questions. There are 2 types of questions, as you know. The first type, we call it yes-no questions. Our yes-no questions should begin by putting the auxiliaries first, do or does, depending on the subject, followed by the subject and the base verb and the complement and the question mark. Let us take an example. Do Ahmed and Ali speak English well? Yes, they do. Do is the auxiliary. Ahmed and Ali the subject, they are plural. Speak is the base verb. English well is the complement of the sentence. Either we can answer by yes or no. Yes, they do. The second example, does Layla help her mother every day? No, she doesn't. Does is the auxiliary, followed by Layla the subject. Help is the base verb. Her mother every day is the complement. And every day is one of the adverbs that we can use with the present simple tense. Now we come to the second type of questions. We call it the WH questions. Why do we call it WH questions? Because it should begin by putting the question word first, كلمة السؤال, followed by one of the auxiliaries does or do, the subject, the base verb, and the complement, and the question mark. The first example, when do your parents travel to Jordan? When is the question word, followed by the auxiliary do, because we have the subject here plural. Travel is the base verb. To Jordan is the complement. Number 2, how many sisters does she have? How many is the question word. How many sisters, followed by the auxiliary does, because we have the subject is she takes does, and then the base verb have. Use the present simple with adverbs of a frequency like often, always, usually, sometimes, never, ever, every day, once a week, twice a year. استعمل المضارع البسيط مع ظروف التكرار مثل غالبا often, دائما always, عادة usually, بعض الأحيان sometimes, أبدا never, ever مطلقا every day يوميا, once a week مرة واحدة في الأسبوع, twice a year مرتين في السنة. Just like I usually go to school by a car. I is the subject, followed by the frequency adverb usually, which comes before the main verb. يأتي قبل الفعل الرئيسي go. To school by a car. Number 2, she visits her grandparents 3 times a week. She, the subject, visits the present simple with S for the third person singular, S الشخص الثالث المفرد, her grandparents 3 times a week, the complement of the sentence. 3, do your friends always wake up late at holidays? Do, the auxiliary, your friends, the subject, and we put always here before the main verb. Wake up late at holidays, the complement of the questions. Okay, my dear students, thank you for your listening. This is the end of our lecture.